This is Urasawa Boys, a podcast where we read and discuss the works of manga artist and author Naoki Urasawa. Right now, we're reading Monster, and Monster deals with a lot of dark and troubling topics and themes, so a list of content warnings is going to be available in the show notes. Thanks for listening. I'm Samuel Quinn Morris.
I'm Matt Fennell.
Welcome back to Urasawa Boys. It's a podcast. We talk about Urasawa, and you know something? We have a real good time doing it. It's been a bit. When did we last record?
It was when you did Diablo Day with KFC. Getting your double down. That was stolen.
It was the Diablo double down KFC sandwich stealing day. What a day that was for me. Played a bit of Diablo 4 since, and decided I didn't like it much.
Oh, I downloaded the beta to play last week, but then slept most of that Sunday.
It's fine. It's not as... I think that for Diablo purists, they're gonna like Diablo 4 better, but I am a Diablo 3 guy, and you can judge me for that. What about you, Matt? What have you been up to?
Well, since the last time we recorded, you and I saw each other.
Yeah, we hung out a bit.
Beautiful Carborough, North Carolina. We went and saw a show and had some fun. Mm-hmm. Cheek Face, America's favorite local band. Other than that, not too much going on here. I mean, I've been on the road for work a lot, so that's been keeping me busy. But I am in Chattanooga for at least the next few weeks. So that'll be good. Weather's starting to get nice. We went to a soccer game last night, so that was a lot of fun.
Wow, is it ever getting nice?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a nice summer. So I'm looking forward to it. I gave my apartment a deep clean last week, and
it is looking nice.
Yeah, it's been good. Lots of stuff going on. Quinn, before we started recording, you said you had a beverage story to tell?
I do have a beverage story. So I really like acid. I love acidic flavors. My favorite flavors are like savory and acidic. So I'm at the deli last night. I'm getting some food, getting some snack. And I see in the drink cooler, I see some apple cider vinegar. And I'm like, oh, cool, like a vinegar drink, like the Bragg's, like drinking vinegar, you know, where they've like diluted it a bit. And I was like, oh, cool, I haven't seen this brand. You know, it was in like a little bottle, like a little drink-sized bottle. And so I pick it up and I bring it back home and I drink it. And I'm like, wow, finally, a drinking vinegar that tastes like vinegar. And then I drink some more. And then I think about it real hard. And I look at the acid content. Matt, this was not drinking vinegar.
That was going to be my guess.
This was just vinegar.
You were just drinking vinegar?
And I didn't have that bad of a time doing it. I put it back in the fridge. And then this morning, I got it back out. Had a little bit more.
I'm glad you liked that, but that is just revolting to me. Like, imagining that, I'm like, oh.
Well, I wouldn't drink white vinegar, Matt. It's apple cider vinegar. It's got flavor.
And I know that some people drink apple cider vinegar for, like, health stuff, but that
they do, but also,
it's very funny.
Like, it's funny to drink it for... Here's the bottle, by the way.
Okay. That's a fair mistake.
Yeah,
see,
right?
Looking
it is
at that, you would think that's
bottle.
drinkable. Yeah. Yes, that's a beverage bottle.
Yes, it's in a beverage bottle. And also, like, you can see I didn't drink very much of it.
No, just a little sip.
It's so acidic that I could take, like, a sip, like, every 5 minutes. Like, I had to... It's on cool down. But it's so good I kept having to go back for more. Anyway, you're not supposed to drink it.
He says as he drinks it.
It's so good, though. You're not supposed to drink it because it's too fucking acidic is why. It's bad for your teeth. It's bad for your vocal cords. It's bad for your throat. And all I want is a drink that tastes the way this tastes without being bad for those things. But I don't think I'm going to get it.
Yeah, that seems like a tricky situation, but beverage adventures, that's fun.
All right. Okay.
Okay.
Well, podcast fans, how was that? Was that like a more like traditional podcast opening? That felt
feels
very
like it. Before just
right.
we didn't get right into it. We had a little bit of just like catch up.
Yeah. Well, I'm really excited to talk about this particular section because it feels a lot like I didn't make a lot of notes, but I have a lot to say. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, no, I liked this reading. There were a couple episodes ago when we had the one with the Turkish quarter being set on fire with the baby.
Yeah.
That, I think we said, hey, this reading functions as a movie. This one I don't think is as, like, it's segmented in the same way where you can just kind of take it out and it's its own thing. But I think this is, like, you know, we keep saying, oh, it's very cinematic, it's very cinematic. This, to me, like, a lot of stuff that happens in this, maybe it feels like an oversized episode of like a prestige TV show or something like that.
I would say that. I mean, it's a bit like a Columbo in a way. You know, it definitely
because of the character that we're following and, you know, the detectiving that's happening
and extended detective sequence. You know, and also it's hard for this to be a standalone sequence because it's, you know, it's directly following from the few chapters at the end of the last reading, continuing on with our adventures with the cast in Munich.
In Munich, yeah.
Yeah. Although Tenma does show up.
Does he ever?
And thank God, because I was definitely like, oh man, if this section has no Tenma, like, what are we gonna name the episode?
Oh, I would have come up with something.
I know you would, buddy. Yeah. Well, okay. Let's do this then. Chapter 51, Richard. Richard, the private detective, meets with his ex-wife in a cafe to check in with her, talk about his child. He asks to see her, and his ex-wife says, "I'll ask if she wants to." He has a session with Dr. Reichwein and talks a little bit about how excited he is to see his daughter and admits, I mean, he kind of already did, but he says it again clearly that he shot and killed the serial killer because he was drunk on the job. As he walks through town, he has a PTSD flashback. He returns home. And then we see him at the cafe again, waiting for his ex-wife to return. She comes back, says, actually, she doesn't want to see you. And that sucks. And he almost breaks his sobriety, but he doesn't. And that's this chapter.
Yeah. The first time I read this chapter, I didn't super especially care for it. But I think, and honestly, I think if I was writing this manga, I would have put 52. The next chapter, I would have made that the first chapter of this volume and then just had an unbroken string of Richard, I think. Because I don't know, it threw me off a little bit, but there's things in this chapter that I like. There's the thing we talk about a lot, you know, there's the discussion of you can't get back what you lost, you know, killing someone is something that you can't come back from, something like that. So
yeah,
it's just the themes that we like to harp on are all here in this chapter.
Definitely. Well, the themes that are here, they're here, and then also the theme of recovery is very present in Richard's storyline. Like, I think Richard as a character, like if we're doing the push our glasses up our nose thing, what is Richard's narrative function? You know, and his narrative function in terms of the themes, or I guess his thematic function, I should say. I just actually'd my own actually. Fuck, I'm a prick. His thematic function is to, like we were saying last reading, right, the Greys, is to engage with the concept of recovery and the concept of coming back from something that cannot be taken back, right? And I think this chapter really sets that up, and it sets up the difficulty of it, and it really starts to engage with the process, and we see Richard engaging with the process a bit.
Yeah, I think it makes the stakes very real. I mean, like we've talked,
Yes.
we say murder something you can't come back from, and here we're seeing someone who is going through the hard work of trying to come back from it, and
Yeah, he can't see his daughter. Like the stakes for Richard in kind of this chapter, and maybe even the next one, is, am I going to see my daughter again? Or at least soon, or whatever. Will I ever have that connection, that valuable thing back? And that, I mean, wow, those are stakes. Stakes like that to me are almost more effective than something like somebody going to die. How this city's gonna get blown up by a bomb. Is this guy gonna see his fucking daughter? Oof.
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely really interesting. Is there anything in the Reichwein stuff that you want to talk about, or do you have any notes there?
Honestly, you already touched on it. The Reichwein specifically says, you'll never recover what you lost, and the fact that you killed him cannot ever be erased.
Yeah.
And then he says, the important thing is to start working from there. Which is, my God, is that ever true for a person who's in recovery for any kind of wrongdoing to themselves or others, really? I mean, that's very much how it is.
Yeah, I really like the relationship. I think, yes. I mean, we get a lot of Reichwein and Richard in these chapters, and there's some points where I'm like, well, this is maybe like crossing the line of like what is good patient-therapist or relationship. Like, they're very close, they're friends, but like I like I like that they're buddies, and kind of the banter that they have with each other. So I like that a lot in this chapter. My favorite bit in this chapter is the what you mentioned, where he's walking on the street and has his panic attack, his PTSD. Because it does a lot of the stuff that we've talked about, not thematically, but like mechanically, right? Where we have the very detailed shots of the street and the cars, and then kind of the more abstract ones. There's so many sound boxes on these. It's a spread where it's, you've got cars. Did you
catch what triggered the PTSD?
Was it the construction sounds?
No. So that sounds, the sounds on that street are construction sounds and street sounds, but the PTSD happens when he hears the police sirens.
Oh, okay. The whatever that sound, because we did this last time. Papo, yeah.
Matt hates it.
I hate it. It's
Matt, racist moments.
No.
Get him, everybody.
Okay, but I like that sequence because they're very loud pages, and then it goes to complete silence during his flashback. Like, there's not even like the dawn of the gunshot. Mm-hmm. I think it's good. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I think maybe my favorite thing about this chapter is the introduction of an image, and we talked last time about an image that wasn't successful, and now we have a recurring image that I think is extremely successful, which is whenever Richard sees people drinking alcohol, or he's like thinking about it particularly strongly, we get a close-up shot of him swallowing, gulping, a dry throat, and I think that's really, like, what an awesome shorthand for that habit.
Yeah, you immediately know what's going on. I mean, because those are usually coupled with, it's shots of other people at the bar smiling and drinking, having a good time, and then, like you said, the dry throat swallow. Yeah, because it's twice. You think maybe he's going to take a drink when his wife says, "Hey, I'll have to check to see what she thinks."
He orders the whiskey. It's brought to him to his table. He leaves the money on the table and leaves without taking a sip. And it's like,
and then we got the Hulk sad piano as he walks into the night.
Yes, it is. It is 200% another Hulk sad piano moment. Jesus. Maybe we should start keeping track of those.
Yeah, well, I'll just make another one like I did last time, because they're good.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think that's a great image. I also, I know that you weren't just hot on this chapter, but I think it's kind of interesting because I think this chapter is really, this close to being able to stand on its own as a short story.
Totally. Yeah.
You know?
I think it does.
Like, short of a couple of of previously established circumstances, it works as a short story about a private detective with alcoholism, and I love it.
And who doesn't love that? I mean, that's a whole genre of fiction. There's, it's
yeah,
it's great.
It is.
No,
It
yeah,
is.
I think it's good. I think for me, it was more just kind of like the pacing felt weird in a way, but I like it. Do you have any more notes on? And when I say pacing, I mean more just like in the structure of this reading, more than
I think that's a fair criticism, because like I think I like it and you dislike it for the same reason, which is how isolated it feels.
Okay. Yeah.
I like it because of how encapsulated it is, but you're right that it doesn't flow super well from the previous chapter, and it doesn't flow super well into the next chapter.
Yeah, flow is exactly the word that I was thinking about, right? Because it took me, I think, 2 attempts to do this reading. So like I started it pretty shortly after we finished the last recording, and then it fell off, and then came back earlier today and read the whole thing twice. So
yeah, no, I think you're right. Well, this raises an interesting question, which is like, okay, so you would fix it. Would you keep this chapter in the reading, or would you remove it entirely?
I would keep this chapter. Yeah,
Where
I would put 52. I would just swap 51 and 52.
Swap 51 and 52. Okay, let's put a pin in that and revisit it after we read 52. Just because, like, this is an interesting new conversation for us to have.
Yeah, I've never really thought about this before, and it's interesting. I don't know if it's interesting, but it's something to talk about.
I think if people are interested in the other things we have to say, like, this can't be less interesting.
It's not that far afield of what we usually talk about. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I said, I don't have a lot of notes, but I really like this reading and I want to talk about it. So I'm looking forward to it. Okay, 52.
52. What's the name of this one?
Proof.
Okay. Carl continues reading to Herr Schuwald, who remarks again that Carl's Latin has been improving. Carl reveals that he's been studying with Johann, and Schuwald remarks that Johann is pretty much perfect in every way. Carl tells Johann about this encounter and how it made him jealous. He also tells Johann that he's decided to quit his job reading for Schuwald, and that he's decided he won't reveal his parentage to Schuwald, even though he has a piece of proof. Carl gives the proof to Johann for safekeeping, and so that he isn't tempted to change his mind on the decision. Carl's foster parents visit and offer to adopt him. There's an emotional moment. Carl accepts. When he gets home that night, Schuwald calls and reveals that Johann told him Carl was quitting and asks for Carl to do one more reading over the phone. Carl reads and breaks down in tears. The door opens. Schuwald's there. He reveals that he was on his cell phone, and Johann gave him the proof, a lucky rabbit's foot that Schuwald had given to Carl's mother, Margot, revealing that Carl was in fact Schuwald's son. The chapter ends with Schuwald announcing that he has hired Johann as a personal assistant, and Johann makes we do like a slow zoom in on his eyes. That's kind of scary. I said the word reveals a lot in that summary. I wrote that like 2 or 3 times, and I still am not happy with it.
There's a lot of revealing in this reading. There's not much to, I mean, Urasawa set up the puzzle boxes, and now he's opening them. You know what I mean?
Yes. Do you have, what's your first note for this chapter?
Man, not a lot. I don't have any notes until we hit Johann, frankly.
Okay.
And that note is, it's the back of Johann's head again.
Yeah.
We love seeing the back of Johann's head.
I didn't note that, but I did notice that in this and a few other chapters. It's interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I think that I don't have a lot of notes for this reading because this reading, it's kind of like the Munich stuff from last reading is chapter 1, and all of the stuff is chapter 2. And so this reading just feels like payoff, which is great. It's great to read. But it's less interesting to talk about because it would just be us like recapping a whole bunch of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, do you have anything to say about chapter 52?
I mean, the only notes that I had is Carl tells us... you got one?
Yeah. It was probably the same one that you were about to do.
Is it about what Carl tells his parents about Johann?
No, but so hit it.
Yeah, so my note there was the way that he talks about his relationship with Johan, like how he feels he can tell him anything. That's what we heard. It's not Junkers. What was the serial killer?
Jurgens.
That's what Jurgens said about, his friendship with Johan, is that he felt like he could tell him anything. So
did Glasses Guy also
Glasses
say
Guy
that?
also said that, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a running theme about how people feel about Johan.
It's also funny because, like, whenever we hang out with Johan, I just don't trust him.
Yeah,
like
I mean,
obviously he's a freak, but it is funny that, like, we keep being informed that people feel safe around this guy, and I'm like, I would never feel safe around this guy.
Yeah, it's interesting. What was your note?
My note is that, what the fuck, Carl? It hurts. It sucks.
Oh, like that now he's not with his foster parents, or what?
Well, like, he's hanging out with his foster parents, and they're hanging out, and he's like, you've been so good to me, and they're like, why don't you officially become our son? And he goes, yeah, you're my real mother and father. And then at the end of the chapter, he's, like, crying in Shufald's arms, and his foster parents are, like, totally forgotten after this point. We never see or hear from them again.
I mean, it's really sad. I mean, that did make me feel bad, yeah. But to me, this is Johan doing his manipulating thing again that he does to people. Because I still haven't quite figured out what his game with Shewald is, but yeah, I mean, like, Johan did something that Carl, like, explicitly asked him not to do.
Yeah, I mean that is the thing. Like, so it's interesting, right? Because when Johan offers to take the rabbit foot off Carl's hands,
yeah,
the reader is obviously intended to go, oh ho, Johan's gonna do it. Johan's gonna claim the parentage. I mean, that was my first thought. Yeah, exactly, right? Because that's kind of what things have been building towards a bit. Urasawa's placed a lot of breadcrumbs for the readers to pick up to take us to the conclusion.
Yeah, because Carl asks Shewald, like, when they're hanging out, he says, how would you feel if you had a son that was someone like Johan, right? And that's what triggers the kind of jealousy, right? Is how much Shewald likes and cares for Johan. So it's definitely queuing you up to expect that, and then instead it's confusing. It threw me off, and I was a little like, okay, why is this what Johan has chosen to do? It
yes,
makes you
it's
uncomfortable.
It's a cool left turn, right? It's what is Johan's game?
Mm-hmm.
And we don't find out what that game is in this chapter. And I'm trying to remember what exactly the game is. I think I know what it is, but I will not reveal. But it's cool, right? It's cool.
It's a good mystery.
And also, like, with the other stuff that is revealed, we should just keep it. Fuck it, cinema sins
just
counter.
Keep saying reveals.
Fucking ding. But with the other things we learn in this reading, you really start to get a sense of the kind of planner Johan is. Of how terrifyingly long-term he can think. Which is cool. I think it's really cool. And it's a cool moment to realize, in the middle of it, one of Johan's plans is currently happening. We're in the middle of it, and I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the reader is in there. We're the only ones with all of the information, and we still don't have all of the information. It's great. It's great.
It's good. Yeah. I thought the cell phone thing was funny. I mean, like, in 97, yeah, that's, like, it's huge that, you can be somewhere and not, you're on the phone, but you're also where you're calling. Like, that's a huge... In the return season of Twin Peaks, that's, like, a big, long-running plot mechanic or joke. Is that the receptionist at the police station doesn't understand cell phones? Like, they freak her out, and that becomes like a big. It's a good bit. So I always like it when that happens. When people are, oh no, you're here. How are you here? We're on the phone.
Yeah, totally.
But that's all I had. That was those are all my notes for that. For chapter 52.
Last note for chapter 52 for me. So you mentioned at the end there's a zoom in on Johan's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is actually more than just it's not more than just a zoom in. It's exactly just a zoom in. It is the exact line work from the previous panel blown up.
That's fun. I like that.
Isn't that fun? I think it's a cool touch, and it gives it this scratchy feeling.
Mm-hmm.
So I just thought that was a cool little thing to highlight. It's easy for artists to do this in a lazy way, but you know that when Urasawa does it, he's doing it for a reason. So any artists out there, there's a fun little thing that you can do. If you can strategically take line art from a previous panel and blow it up for, whatever artistic purposes. There's good ways and bad ways to do it, and this is a good way. Okay, we finished chapter 52. So you're thinking we should swap the order here.
Because 50 ends with 50 is the forest, right? Where it's unresolved, is he going to tell Schuwald that he's his son? This, that, the other. There's a little bit of Richard stuff at the end of 50, which is why I think 51 picks up with Richard. But to me, because now what we get into with 53, it's a direct continuation of 51, whereas 52 kind of wraps up the Schuwald and Johann and Carl stuff.
No, actually, not. Now that we finished 52, you're completely fucking right.
So just a weird, I don't know. Now
that is odd.
See, here's the thing.
That really makes it stick out.
Here's the thing. I hate what this opens me up to, which is I just become like a machete order guy for manga, right? Where it's just like moving all my pieces around.
Come on. Urasawa's normally very good with this. It
just stuck out to me, I think, was the only thing.
It does stick out. It does stick out. It's not as clean. I really, and it makes me wonder, okay, so if this was a choice Urasawa made, because I'm sure that he had both chapters mostly plotted at the same time.
Yeah.
Right? So if he had both these chapters plotted mostly at the same time, why did he make this choice? My only guess is that once Johann assumes his role aside Schuwald and Karl, his plan advances, and maybe that advancement would have messed with things that's happening in chapter 51, but I honestly don't even think so. But that's my only guess.
Yeah, who knows? That sounds reasonable to me. What is the title of 53?
Brought to Light.
Okay.
Schuwald dismisses Richard. He dismisses Richard's services as a private detective, saying that everything has been resolved. Richard and Reichwein get some dinner and discuss Richard's past detective work and some old cases. He is waiting for a train, gets the sense that someone is behind him, but no one is there. At his apartment, he looks back through his old cases and thinks about them, and almost has a realization. But his PTSD kicks in, he sees the ghost of the boy he killed, and it evades him. Later, he is walking the streets at night, and hears someone following him. When he chases them, there is no one there, but the ghost again. He goes to Reichwein's place, and says to Reichwein that he shot and killed the serial killer because he realized the existence of true evil in the world, and that the unsolved cases he was researching earlier in the chapter are actually one single case.
Dun dun dun.
Wah-ba-ba-ba.
Yeah. I like the ghost a lot. That it's like this is what's preventing him from doing detective work. Is this trauma that is like not a literal ghost, but is a ghost that's blocking him from solving the case.
I like that we see trauma this way for multiple characters, and especially for killing, because we also saw this with Mueller. And another thing I really like about this ghost in particular it's always the same thing. He doesn't see the ghost like in different poses or taunting him in different ways. It's the same image of the guy standing there with an evil smile pointing a gun at him. Or there was that other time where we also saw him get shot, but it always starts with that one thing, and I think that the static, unchanging nature of it, seeing the same thing everywhere you go, I think it's awesome.
Well, and it fits with kind of what when you said, like, he shot the kid because it was like he realized the existence of evil. It was like something in what he saw, right? It's like, this is the face of evil to him, right? And it's like it's burned into his brain as this horrible thing, and then this horrible thing that he did. It's good. Stepping back to the Schuwald stuff at the beginning of this chapter, I do think it's funny that they keep mentioning, like, when Schuwald smiles, like, people will call it out. They're like, man, he really likes that Johan guy. He smiled because, like, Quinn, looking in those panels, I cannot see a smile. It's just an old man face with a mustache.
No, yeah, the previous chapter, they mentioned his smile as well. And I spent some time earlier today, I was looking real hard at it, and I was like, oh, that one crease. It's that one crease on his cheek.
It's really funny.
And you have to be looking for it.
Yeah.
I imagine it'll be more obvious in the anime.
Probably.
It is funny. It is really funny. Yeah. I don't know. I think there is something disturbing about Carl's newfound relationship with Schuwald.
That he calls him father, that, he's like pushing him around. It makes me a little uncomfortable.
It is. It's uncomfortable. It feels strange the way that he abandoned his foster parents after, his whole thing with the motivation that we talked about last reading. And I think it's meant to do that, right? This is Johan manipulating the situation to his desires and his wishes, and molding Carl into something useful to him. Right, so we thought that Carl would be a killer. Carl's not a killer, but Johan has made him a tool. Yeah. Right? Changed Carl, in a way. And so it's disturbing for that reason. However, I do think that even though we can kind of tell that that's what's happened, Urasawa didn't show it enough. And it doesn't feel super earned to me. It feels more like Carl just had a really kind of fucked up change of heart, as opposed to he got weirded into it by Johan's fuckery.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. I'm with you there. I think the paranoia is good. Like, all of is someone following me? Am I going to get pushed in this train station? Like, that's good kind of thriller stuff. And the paranoia just kind of builds over these next sets of chapters in a way that I think is really effective.
Yes. The alcoholism too. Also, like, the gulping as an image. We don't see it in this chapter, but alcoholism, or an addiction in general, is something that's, like, always lurking, like, just in the back of your head. The reader kind of being with Richard and knowing that it's waiting there also contributes to that sensation.
Yeah. No, that's good. I mean, because it's like, what's going to get him? Is it going to be the alcoholism, or is it going to be whoever's following him? Yeah. That's good. I didn't think about that.
One note, I didn't mention in the summary, but one of the cases, one of the unsolved cases from his time on the force was, it was a middle-aged couple murder. Obviously, to the reader, we go, oh, that was Johan. And he mentions it was investigated by a BKA agent, and they never caught the prime suspect, an Asian doctor named Tenma. Yeah. And it's like, God damn it, Lumgate did it again. He did it off screen. He blamed another one on Tenma, the bastard.
Yeah. It's good.
It's good. It's both funny, and also that, like, lets us, the readers, know, like, oh, hey, wait a minute.
Mm-hmm. I like the sequence where he's going through his murder scrapbook, and we kind of get, like, the summaries of these different cases. Because they are not all the same. It's kind of like there was an accountant that just like got stabbed to death. There were two
let's not go into the details. The details are really not the important thing about them.
I didn't know, but like I think it's a good variety of different little cases.
Okay, that's fair. Like yeah. Urasawa did put thought into them. As we see next chapter.
At first, I wasn't sure how I felt about this is all the same case reveal, but I mean that's just the way that this comic works, right? Is the web of coincidences. Yes. And I think this, last time I mentioned how going to these new characters felt like something that happens in like The Count of Monte Cristo or those sort of serialized novels. This reading is like that web that is all spread out. It's starting to kind of tighten and draw together a little bit.
Yeah, I have my first note for the next chapter is the threads begin to connect. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so. You're totally right. I think the sequence where he's on the back streets and he hears a footstep in the darkness behind him is fucking awesome. I don't have a lot of like visual notes for this reading, but one of them is at what point he stops walking and looks behind him, and in the darkness there is a tack of a footstep.
The tack is a really good sound, and it's used effectively in that sequence. That one ends with him just looking down the dead end dark alley, and that's like a good panel.
Yeah, well, and then he sees the ghost again, and he's like, "Oh god damn it, it's this fucking guy,"
He's always here.
He's always fucking here. I bet this sequence is another one that's going to be really good in the anime.
Yeah.
I mean, any sequence that like focuses on sound, to me, I'm always like, "Oh, great! I can't wait to hear this." Mm-hmm. Yeah. Also, at the end of this chapter, when he says to Reichwein about he shot and killed the guy because he recognized evil, he does not mention being drunk, which ties into the thing that happens later, which I have mixed feelings about, and we'll get to it. Do we want to head to chapter 54? I
have one note about the end about that conversation, the existence of evil. He thinks he saw it in that kid's face. He this ties back into something that he has done. A thing that he likes to do with Reichwein is he brings them pictures of people who are like persons of interest in the thing that he's doing, and asks the doctor like, "Hey, what do you think about this guy? Like based on this picture of his face, like give me your read on him." And Reichwein is always like kind of hesitant to do it. He's like, I'm not a fortune teller. That's not the way it works. But Richard's always kind of like, come on, just give me your gut feeling. One of the things that Reichwein says at one point is Richard beats himself up for not being able to read minds and kind of just like immediately intuit things about people. So I think it's interesting, right, that it's like this thing that has undone him, this murder that he did was something that was prompted by like one time in his life where for a split second he just thought he could read something on this person's face, right? It was like so clear to him, this thing that he is always like trying to do and would make his job easier. It's like one time it worked, and it has been so mentally annihilating, right, that he keeps seeing that face and the evil.
Whoa. Oh, that's really good.
I liked it.
Faces. You've been going eyes with the window of the soul.
Mm-hmm.
Matt, I think what we might need to do, I think what we might be able to do is we might be able to take that, I think we can make that faces.
I mean, because you said Urasawa's a face manga, or a face manga, right? So it's like, yeah, this is, mechanically it's a thing where it's like, okay, and now it is also thematically.
Yes, exactly. Like, it's, now we're leaning into faces having thematic importance because identity has a huge, massive thematic importance when it comes to Monster and to Johan in particular, which we will see. There's some very interesting stuff with that. So that's very important, I think. And this also reminds me of the ex-detective from that one-off chapter who used to be able to tell if somebody was good or bad just by looking.
Yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah.
And so this is kind of the opposite. Like this guy can't tell. He's like, I can't tell, and I shot this guy, and was it the right thing to do? But like, was it? I don't think the manga is even passing judgment on Richard
Yeah, and this is I almost wasn't going to bring this up, but I think just like based on well, the whole that this was something that just destroyed Richard's career and his life, right? And I think this is more a reflection on just like how terrible policing is, especially here in the West, right? Like I almost think this is something that just like if this happened in real life, right? Like I mean, the kid was pointing a gun at Richard, right? I think this is just people brush it aside, don't even give it a second thought, right? Which I don't think is right. I mean, I think it was wrong what he did, but I think it almost just feels like, man, if this happened in real life, this would be such a nothing, and that sucks, you know. But yeah, no. Yeah. So that's all I had for 53. Do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
Okay.
No.
What's the title of 54?
One Case.
One Case. Okay. Good. Dr. Reichwein writes to his former student, Rudy Gillen, who has just had an article published about some of his work with Jurgens. On a hunch, Reichwein asks Rudy for information on the friend that Jurgens mentioned, and also asks if Rudy knows anything about his classmate, Dr. Kenzo Tenma, what kind of person he has become. Hoping to find a connection between the unsolved cases, Richard travels around interviewing people who knew the murder victims, learning that they were all connected to Schuwald in some way professionally, but then also socially. He narrowly misses being hit by falling construction equipment and then later by a car as his paranoia about being followed ramps up. Richard and Reichwein meet, and Richard lays out his theory. All of the murders, including that of the boy, Edmund Fahren, served to isolate Schuwald. He also notes that a name came up in all of these cases, a name that Reichwein also received from Rudy, Johann. The two realize in horror that Johann has made himself very, very close to Schuwald. It's a good chapter.
It really, yeah. This one, the note I have is Urasawa open, closed.
Good. Hell yeah.
You know? Because and all of a sudden, this is how it all is. And it is really satisfying after the, 6 chapters we've spent in Munich? Yeah. It's like, oh my god, it really was all connected all along.
Yeah.
Like we knew it was, but was it ever?
And I love that this nice old man is their professor from that class that they cheated in, right? That like it's so good, it's so clean and nice and tight, and that this is a man who like wanted to keep up with his students, right? Like he is such a nice man, right? Like
oh my god, you're right. It is the same one.
Mm-hmm.
It is the same one. Gillen named Reichwein in the flashback.
I don't know if he named him in the flashback.
Hold on. I gotta go and get it. I gotta go find it.
Yeah, go check it.
Second. No, it was a different one. And I thought that was, that would have been strange, because the class that they cheated in was Intro to Forensics, which was taught by Professor Hesse, and I don't really know what Reichwein would have been doing teaching forensics.
Oh, man. Well, but he wasn't he, he was a police psychologist. Because that comes up later.
Reichwein does mention being a police psychologist, but I expect that what Reichwein taught was just an Intro to Psych, and that would have been crazy if it was the same.
I was hoping that was it, yeah.
Man, that would have been wild.
For a second.
That would have been too much. That's fine, it's fine. But it's still, it absolutely is one of those kind of coincidences that Urasawa loves to do, and it's a really good one because you just don't see it coming, and then you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And we get a little picture of college Tenma, and he's so cute.
Mm-hmm. It's a good segment.
Boy. Burger and a milkshake.
So that's good. I liked the groundwork, like the footwork that Richard's doing, all the little interviews. Like it's good mystery solving, detective-y stuff.
It really is. Like it's not good pod, but listeners, like the sequence where he is going, he's talking to this person, and this person is really, really enjoyable to read if you're into mystery stories. It's really well done. And despite the fact that he is investigating 3 mysteries at once, Urasawa actually does a pretty good job of keeping everything straight. for the reader. And one thing I noted here was that with all these interviews, we get a lot of great faces.
Yeah. There's lots of I liked all the people. I mean, because what, it's the business tycoon, the wife of the driver. No, not the wife of the driver. I don't know.
I'm not exactly sure
people.
which one is connected to which. I just vaguely know what's going on.
It paints Schuwald in a different light, I think, is the other thing that this chapter does, right? Because it's like everything before, he's a grumpy old man, he's the vampire of Bavaria, but it's like everyone that Richard's talking to is people who were, it's the survivors of Schuwald's friends, right? There's this lady that he gave her all these books of poetry, and they would just read together, right? It's two of his bird watching buddies. And then, like, a corporate rival who they would always, at parties, they'd make this big show of just, like, screaming at each other and getting in fights. But it was mostly just, like, they were underneath it all. They were friends is kind of what the implication there is. So it's good character stuff for a guy who is kind of one note.
It is. Well, I mean, what it does is it contextualizes the note, right? It tells you there used to be more.
Mm-hmm.
There used to be more to him, and Johann took all that away.
Yeah,
like he wasn't isolated. Yes, he was rich and probably always a curmudgeon,
always terrible in some ways. Yeah,
but he didn't used to be completely alone. Johann did that.
Yeah, and
intentionally.
This is what Johann did this is what General Wolf told us that Johann did to him. Right, was like he took away everyone who knew me, everyone that cared about me. And this is kind of what you said about Johann playing the long game, because this is what Richard notes, right? Is these cases were spread out over multiple years. They're different MOs. Like, there's nothing that really links these things together until you look at everything with the context of this new stuff, right?
Yeah, they're not connected until Schuwald, until you put Schuwald in the middle, and there was no reason to do that until now. So it's I had just a whole lot of fun with this chapter.
Yeah, I got I got almost goosebumps because it's not quite a Jack in the Box because it's on the opposite page. You don't turn to get to it, but when Richard reveals Johann is doing this to isolate Schuwald, like it's a good line. Anytime a character figures out something about how Johann works, like when Rudy did it in the carnival, like I really liked it there. When we get facts about like, here's how Johann works, I always think it's neat.
It's a great thing to learn about Johann because it is so scary.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's also necessary because, his presence, his physical presence in this part of the story could, if not handled correctly, demystify him a little too much. This chapter remystifies him because now you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
Whew, it's awesome.
55.
Journey to Johann. We see Johann playing with some kids. Richard meets with his ex-wife again and gives her a little dossier of articles and such about how he killed the serial killer. Tells her to show his daughter that stuff when she's ready. And his ex-wife says, Richard, you've really come back. You remind me of the young detective I once knew. Which is never a good sign. He goes to the supposed parents, ? Of Johann Liebert, and pretends to be an insurance salesman to get some information out of them. Later, he realizes that the child in their family photos is not Johann. So then he goes and he tries to find some records about his birth. Doesn't find anything unusual until he overhears someone saying all the records burned down 4 years ago and all the records had to get replaced. Whew! Thank God for that. Thank God he was sitting there on this one bench in this one office when this one guy tried to
smoking a cigarette. Yeah.
Jesus fuck. I mean, I don't mind coincidence, but man, anyway.
That's a big one. That one made me laugh a little bit.
Yeah. Gillen and Reichwein meet up and talk about Peter Jurgens and the other cases, while Richard goes to a cemetery and finds a tombstone for the Lieberts' original Johann child. Richard gets a call on the phone from his daughter, and they make plans to meet. There's tears in his eyes. Knock, knock. It's Johann.
Yeah, that poor guy.
This poor fucking guy. Woof.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You hate to see it.
You hate it, folks. You hate to see it happen.
You hate to see it. I mean, Reichwein tells him, like, it's the triple whammy. His wife says, you know, you've made so much growth, you're like the person I used to know. Reichwein tells him he's made a full recovery. He's gonna see his daughter tomorrow. Like, this guy got genre story. His death warrant immediately signed. Just like, he got.
It's so bad. It's so bad. I feel like I've had wrestling on the brain a little bit lately, and I just feel like it's you and me as the wrestling announcers, you know, and we see this and we're like, oh, man, that's gotta hurt.
Yeah, that's a good, I like that imagery.
Like the two of us up in the box just fucking losing our minds.
Yeah, as Richard just gets hit with like the tube light just smashed over his head.
Yeah. Oh, there's fucking Spectre's like, oh, he's going back. Folks, he's picking up the table.
Oh no.
Man. Oh, Jesus. Fuck. He's going out of the ring. I don't know. It's, can you tell I've been reading World Wide Wrestling?
No, I was curious. I was like, is Quinn a wrestling person? Like,
no, I'm not. I've never seen a
WrestleMania
single
this weekend.
Match. I've never seen a single one. But I've been reading a tabletop RPG about wrestling and listening to an actual play of it, and it's really enticing me. And I'm kind of over here like, fuck, do I need to get into wrestling?
I have tried to get into wrestling back in college, and I just found it like unbearably boring.
It seems like comic books. It seems like if you don't get into it when you're a kid, it's really, really hard to.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe if there's like a scene in the city I moved to, but I'm sure there will be. It seems unlikely to me.
Local wrestling promos. I mean, when I lived in South Carolina, there were not one but two competing Christian wrestling leagues.
I'm really glad I brought us down this tangent just so we could have that fact on air. Love that.
I Facebook messaged one of the groups and asked them, are you the one that there's the sign like over on and I said a specific road, and they're like, no, that's for this other group, our rivals, we're better than them. And I was like, oh, okay. It was truly bizarre. But yeah, so I think there's always local wrestling scenes.
Okay, cool. Well, I hope so. I think I might enjoy like local wrestling.
I think that's a fun time.
Man, Quinn as wrestling announcer. Oh fuck. Ooh, now we're maybe on to something.
It's good. You could do it.
I feel like I could do it. Fans, leave some comments. Spotify just added that, like reply to the podcast. Like, reply to the podcast. Leave a review for the podcast on Spotify and tell me if you think I'd be a good wrestling announcer. Okay, so Johann's hanging out with these kids. They're having their little fun.
They're playing Power Rangers, which is very era appropriate.
Yeah. It's super fun. And Johann asked this kid, well, after you take over the world, that's the hard part. What kind of regime will you build? It's like, okay, Johann. Like, we get it.
Yeah, it's so creepy. I hate it. It makes me really uncomfortable that that this man is volunteering with children.
Oh man, it's not fun. I feel like if he asked this question a different way, I would go like, oh, that's a fun question to ask a kid.
It's the way he's phrased it.
Yeah. And he's got his little angelic look. We get so many shots of Johann's eyes. His fucking cold as ice eyes. It's always creepy. Man.
This is not spelled out explicitly in the text, but I am pretty sure that this is where Richard gets that picture of Johann. It seems like it's in this park. Like, I looked at the snapshot as it comes up, and Johann is kind of always wearing a turtleneck.
He saw Johann when he visited Schuwald in the last chapter.
No, but there's a picture of Johann that Ragvine gives to Rudy. Picture? Yeah, it's a physical snapshot. So I think this to me, this makes sense of where Richard would have gotten that picture. Like, he took it here.
Hell, that could be. I mean, because Richard is here, and I've been trying to figure out why Richard is here where Johann is, and so maybe it's to take the picture, but they don't show that.
They don't.
Interesting. I wonder if we missed it somewhere.
Maybe it was earlier, maybe it was last volume, but, like, for sure.
No, there's no way it was last volume.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, what do you think about his weird fake family?
So you're saying his ideal family, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's his ideal family.
Okay.
And we know that he's been there for at least a few years, right? It's, like, they're kind of jarring, because I don't know about you, but I kind of never really expected to see them. Or maybe I thought that Schuwald was his ideal family.
I thought they'd be scarier or something. These just seem like normal people and they're weird. Like, I couldn't tell, like, are these, like, the pawns that Johann uses? Like, what's the deal with this? The other thing that confused me is their last name was Liebert. That's all the way back from the first chapter, right? Like, when the trade people are killed. It was their identity, because I checked it today, just now.
You checked it, yeah.
Yeah, the trade ambassadors that get murdered at the beginning of the story are called out as these are the Lieberts, right? So is Liebert just a common name and he just found and he made these people Lieberts or what? Like, I don't know.
I mean, they were Lieberts before. And it's also true, like, he must have moved in with these people before he shot Junkers, right? Because at that point, he was already going by Johann.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that he changes his name as he moved around as an adolescent between foster families. So, living here for a few years. But I think his ideal family, the thing is really, what is an ideal family for Johann? And I think seeing them tells you his ideal family is one that is completely normal, one that he can completely assimilate into, and the fiction is almost perfect. A safe base of operations for the rest of his plans. And importantly, also one that is to him morally perfect, right? Because he had the other guy kill that other family because the dad was stepping out on his wife or some shit, right? So if we take that at face value, which we might not want to, but if, for the sake of argument, we take that at face value that that's why he had them killed, he also has moral expectations for the people that he sees as his parents.
Sure, yeah.
And I think there's a little bit of evidence for that scattered around. And so I think that's what makes these people ideal for him.
Okay. Yeah, no, that makes sense. For some reason, when we started thinking about the concept of the ideal family, my mind jumped to, it's going to be people who are just as monstrous as he is, right? So it's interesting to hear you say this stuff about like being normal and assimilating. So I don't know if we'll see more of these people. Like I'm interested in seeing where we go.
I honestly don't know if we do.
Yeah.
It seems like, well, you look at the people that Johann has stayed with, and they're all people who have lost children, right? There are people who have lost children or wanted them.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's people that are really grateful to have him in their lives, people that are grateful to accept him into their lives and will not betray him because of that.
Yeah, that's good. Do you have any other big notes for this chapter?
I think there is a cool thing, which is that Richard realizes that Johann isn't their original child because of how much he loves his daughter. He says,
thank you. I forgot to bring this up.
Yeah,
this is good.
Yeah. Why don't you take it then? I talked a lot.
Oh yeah, well, it's when Richard meets with his wife, she gives him another new picture of his daughter, and he takes it out and puts it in his photo album. And she says, "Wow, you carry that photo album around with you everywhere?" And he says, "Yeah, I love my daughter a lot. I love looking at these pictures. Thank you for bringing me new ones. I know that she's always growing and changing, but like honestly, I feel like I'd always be able to recognize her." And this is for him how he realizes it, because he sees that picture of the original Johan, the child that is not our Johan, right? And compares it to his mental image of Johan, the picture of Johan that he has, and is like, no, this baby did not grow up to be this man. He uses dad powers to figure it out.
Yeah, dad powers. Knock knock, it's Johan. Oofa doofa. Yeah. Let's. I'm glad that we got that much pod out of this chapter. I didn't think we were going to.
I didn't either.
I had two notes. I had two notes for this chapter, and we did okay. Chapter 56. And I actually have a note for the title, which is Execution. It's called Execution. Oh man.
Yeah, it's when that popped up, I was like, well, yeah, there's no way. I mean, I knew he wasn't getting out of it, but it was like, there's no way he's getting out of this.
He's really not getting out of it.
Okay, so chapter 56. Rudy meets with Jurgens to show him the picture that Richard got of Johan to see if Jurgens will have any reaction. Jurgens says he doesn't know the man and then goes silent before asking for a pen. Going against protocol, Rudy gives him the pen. Jurgens scratches out Johan's face in the photo and then starts to tell the story of meeting Johan in the park.
He scratches it. He's coloring his hair, actually.
I feel like he was coloring the whole face in. Like, started with the hair and then was like... My read of that was he was scratching out the face so that the picture was useless. Thing. Yeah.
That would...
But he does... Yeah, so he starts... The hair is what we see. I guess I'm making a jump there.
I think it's the hair. It's an interesting jump. Sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Thank you for clarifying. Jurgens tells the story of meeting Johan in the park after he had done a murder and decided that he wasn't going to do murders anymore. And Jurgens saw Johan with a bunch of children, leading them around, saying to each of them, "You come along too, you come along too, you come along too." Rudy gets distracted trying to start the tape recorder so he can catch this story, and Jurgens kills himself with the pen. Johan meets with Richard under the pretense of writing a report for school about a UN Convention on Children's Rights and the actual reality of crime and punishment in the juvenile system. Johan calmly baits Richard into talking about the kid he shot while he was drunk, whose name was Stephen Joss, and while quoting specific articles from the UN report, accuses Richard of extrajudicially executing a child. Richard gets upset, and Johan apologizes and buys a bottle of whiskey before the two leave. Rudy and Reichwein realize that Richard is in danger, but can't reach him. Johan reveals that Stephen came from Kinderheim 511 and that he was a good boy destroyed by that place. Johan makes threatening remarks about Richard's daughter and leads him up onto a roof before accusing Richard of lying about being drunk during Joss's murder. Johan plays up Richard's guilt, tells him he can't bear the weight of what he's done, executing this boy while completely sober, and offers him the bottle of whiskey. Police show up at Reichwein's and reveal that Richard is dead.
Execution.
It's a good chapter.
It's a really good chapter. And it has maybe one of my single favorite moments in the series.
Oh, which one is that?
That would be the Jurgens' suicide with the pen.
Really? Okay.
It's fucked up.
It is.
It's so fucked up. It's
Yeah.
just like, it's a really striking thing to do, and a striking way to go. And it's the fucking title drop. Like, the page, like, the top third is the hand slamming into the side of his head, driving the pen into his ear, and then the rest of the page is Gillen standing there shocked. Lower left, title card, execution. Woo!
Yeah, it's good. Visually, it kind of reminded me of, there's that joke in The Dark Knight where Joker does I'm going to make a pencil disappear. That like burned into my brain from when I saw it when I was probably too young, and just always it's like a very creepy. It's pencils and heads, don't like it. So that's what that brings up for me. Yeah, it's a striking image.
Yeah. But it was fun hanging out with Jurgens some more.
Yeah. I liked that Rudy's tape recorder ended up being like his fatal flaw for this, right? You know, he's a collector. He's got to have these. You know, I need it for my tapes. I need it for my tapes, and that's what gives Jurgens the split second to just do it.
Get in there. A small visual note: when we see Jurgens preparing the pen, there is something very unusual, which is there is a slight slant to the left side of that panel as it adjoins a panel of Rudy's shocked face. And I mentioned this in maybe the second reading, I want to say. But Urasawa is very, very strict with his panel work. They are always straight lines, straight panels. He very rarely uses any angles at all. So even though it's a super slight angle, it is present, and it really adds to the feeling of things being off kilter, of slipping sideways into a dream. You know, and the screen tone. You know, there's the shot of Jurgens prepping the pen, and it's mostly black, but there is like a lighter beam sort of surrounding his hand in the pen, and that kind of highlights the motion that's about to occur. It leads the eye. And that's at an angle too, and that adjoins the angle of the panel, so it is Urasawa using a lot of non-orthogonal, or a couple of non-orthogonal elements to really subtle, but I think very cool effect.
Yeah, I like this a lot. It's good.
Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, never mind. Okay. It was just a trick of how I was holding the book. I thought maybe the page number was off kilter too, but no, it's lined up. That would be really
That would be something.
Yeah. Matt, what you got?
The next thing I have is when they're in the bar and Johann does the thing where he's citing, you know, Article 9, Section 7 or whatever. This made me so frustrated. This worked. What Johann did to get Richard frustrated, it made me frustrated. And there's one specific reason why, and it's a thing that Richard says. Richard's like, look, everything that you're saying about human rights, right, for children, these rights for children, this just applies to people in general, human and children. I know I did the wrong thing. Like, I don't know why you were so hung up on, like, this specifically. And Johann's like, oh, well, you know, it's because this is what I'm writing my paper about. Like, I'm sorry. It ticked me off.
Yeah, my note for this is Johann's a prick.
He's so smug because he's like smiling while he does it. It's awful.
Yeah, he's got this. It's maybe the biggest we've seen him smile yet. He's going, "Are you familiar with Article 37?" You know, it's like, "Oh, fuck you, you little shit," you know.
And the thing that Richard is frustrated about, right? That like he only seems concerned about these things as they apply to the rights of children, which I think is this is like interesting, right? Because we know that Johann just like kills people. He extrajudicially executes adults who he deems to be, like, morally bankrupt.
He will kill people for no reason.
For
Life
nothing.
has no meaning. You know, that's actually, you know what, that's a really good point. Because the only reason Johann would say any of this is to get to a goal. Like, and this is also, this reading is really cementing my one personality theory.
Okay. Well, do you think he's only saying this to get to a goal, or do you think he believes, like, somehow the rights of children are more, like, inherently valuable than rights of, like, other people?
He is the one who put up Yost to do the killing in the first place.
Oh, yeah, just because he came out of Kinderheim?
No, yeah, well, when we learn that Yost comes out of Kinderheim, we know that Yost was, like, a friend, essentially, or on Johann's team. Right? Yeah. We know that Johann controls serial killers. Okay. 2 and 2 makes 4. Yost was at the very least connected with Johann. No, there's no way in hell I mean, I guess it's true that Jos didn't do those killings at Johann's behest, because
like we've seen other times.
Yeah, definitely, like not maybe not directly connected, but
we know he came out of the same machine that created Johann, and we know that Johann was like in charge of that machine when that place burned down. Right? He played everyone against each other, he started the mutiny. So.
Okay, well now you do have me thinking. Okay, well, I don't know, because like it's pretty. On the one hand, yes, you could make the argument that maybe let's say that there's one thing Johann cares about, and it's the rights of children. He truly cares about that. At the same time, he's killing Richard not because of that. He's killing Richard because Richard is determined to investigate Fallen's death.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't think it's possible, and maybe future evidence will have us recontextualize this, but at the moment, I don't think it makes sense to attribute this sequence to any kind of genuine emotion on Johann's part.
Okay. Yeah.
But man, it's so goddamn annoying, this bastard.
It's really annoying.
Yeah.
The next note I had was when they leave, Richard is always a couple steps behind Johann, and we get a lot of the back of Johann's head. Everyone's always following Johann. You come along too. You come along too.
Ooh, man, good. Ooh.
So.
Yeah, I noticed that too, but for me it was more the sense of anytime Urasawa can get away with not showing us his face, he does it. Like, and just the fact that we see so much of the back of his head is just this. It's a really subtle way of communicating to the reader, you don't know him. Even when you see him, you're not seeing him. He's not there. You get the sense that maybe when he's facing away from you, you can't even imagine what his face looks like on the other side. Maybe that's a little bit fancy of me.
No,
Sorry
but I
for
like
getting
that.
Fancy on the pod. Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned earlier that you weren't sure how you felt about the reveal that he might have been sober when he did the killing.
Yeah.
Okay, because I liked this. This was like I was like, oh shoot. Like I didn't see it coming, but then it made sense.
It does.
And then on a second reading, I mean, because there's not really a confirmation, yes or no, that this Richard doesn't say like, yeah, you got me. He's just kind of like in shocked, horrified kind of denial, right? So it may be true. It may just be, Johann manipulating. I don't know. Facts point to yes, kind of, that it is true, because, Johann mentions, no one remembered you being drunk, but everyone knows that you were drunk afterwards.
Yeah, the face Richard makes kind of feels like on the confirmation-y side for me.
Mm-hmm.
I had mixed feelings about it. My mixed feelings are, it makes me sad. That's my mixed feeling. It's like, because I've been over here like, recovery, all this stuff, and it's like, but it really sucks to base that on a lie.
On a lie, yeah. And that's like the real trauma that he's trying to recover from. And honestly, because he wasn't honest about it, wasn't something that he was able to recover from, right?
Yeah, totally.
He recovered
that's
from the
interesting thing.
But not...
So he confessed to Reichwein at the end of chapter 53, because he said, I saw the existence of true evil, that's why I shot and killed him. He doesn't say, I was also drunk. He specifically says, I shot and killed him because I recognized the existence of evil, which is, I think, also strong evidence that, because it's kind of like, it's one of those things where, and maybe y'all can't identify with this, but it's where you say something to your therapist and it's technically an admission of something, but you don't include all the context, so they don't really get it. So you get to say the admission without dealing with the consequences. It feels like one of those. A
little bit, yeah.
Yeah, and we get this great shot. Sorry, go on.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. We got a great shot. Johann's like, can you really bear the weight of all that guilt? And then the next panel is a Dutch angle on Richard, with this like awful miasma swirling in the background, and you can just see him slipping into total fucking despair.
It's good. I think the other thing that I like about that reveal is, okay, the way that this character is introduced to us is this is the cop who got drunk and shot a kid, and now all of a sudden the piece one in the pyramid of this character, we've yanked it out and the whole thing's tumbling down. It was like, wait, that wasn't true. That wasn't the case.
Yeah.
Which that's like thematically that's not really anything, but I think like that's a neat move in terms of a story. It's like, hey, I'm going to tell you something about this, and then actually that was a lie.
It is. It's a super cool. I like the Jenga image for it, because that is totally how it feels. And then Johann hands him a bottle of whiskey. The son of a bitch. What a heavy burden to bear. That son of a bitch.
It's awful. Poor guy.
Blech. Hell of a chapter.
Hell of a chapter. Really good.
Hell of
57? What is the title of 57?
Well, maybe one more thing.
One more?
Which is that you were talking, when Richard was introduced, you were like, here's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that he joins the team and he does the investigating, and he did.
Yeah, but it didn't work out for him. It was...
No, it didn't. Well, you didn't know at the time he had a daughter, so...
Yeah, if I'd known that, I might have hedged my bets a little bit. Like, well, tragedies.
Yeah, absolutely.
How interesting is that also? Hang on, let's think about this. Like, a lot of the most tragic deaths that we've had are guys that are, like, about to reconnect with their children. Right? And
yes.
What if we just say, like,
I have a
Johann's
note
whole
for
big
that.
thing is, okay, yeah.
Once again, making plans with your child is a death sentence.
Yeah, well, I think it's interesting that Johann is killing these people, right? It's like Johann, who is so concerned about, children and stuff like that, is just executing these people who either he sees unfit to be parents or, like, is depriving the children then of their parents or whatever. I don't know. There's something going on here about kids.
That's pretty good. Oh, that is interesting. Man, Johann's a piece of shit.
He's awful.
Listeners, just so you know, murder's a bad thing to do, actually.
Yeah, in case you were wondering. We're
coming
stood
down
on this. We're coming down.
Let it be clear. We are drawing a line in the sand.
Urasawa Boys is a podcast.
Yeah, murder's on the other.
Anti-murder.
Anti-murder, against murder, firmly. We're not budging on this one, folks. God. Okay, chapter 57. A decision. Reichwein and Gillen attend Richard's funeral. And Reichwein beats himself up a little bit. Then he goes jogging. And has a therapy session with a tiresome woman. He does a little investigating and thinks a bit, looks at the whiskey bottle that was found smashed at the scene, goes and talks to the bartender, shows him yeah, you're right, a picture of Johann. Okay, GG's, physical picture of Johann. He talks to the bartender, who does not remember Johann buying the bottle of whiskey, which is absurd to me. We'll get into that. And Reichwein realizes that Richard did not buy that bottle of whiskey because he doesn't drink that brand, which is a very, very, like, 90s kind of
That's a detective thing. Yeah, that's
it's
a
such a detective thing.
That's
not
mystery
his
detail.
Yeah, it's not his brand. Somebody tries to push Reichwein in front of a train. He chases him down to a bar. It's like, hey, dude, why'd you try and push me off the fucking platform? Then he gets beat up. And then he beats them the fuck up.
Shocker.
Which is
Shocking
sick
twist.
as hell. Yeah, finds out that a guy on the subway paid this dude to try and push him. He goes to Richard's grave, uncorks a bottle of scotch. We see nope, that's the wrong one. I'm just gonna cut that. We see Tenma in the moonlight. He's got beautiful long hair.
Woo! Tenma's here! I popped for this. He's back!
It's good. It's a good reveal, too.
Because it's like someone is walking out behind. Who is it? It's Tenma. Oh, we love him. He's
Tenma,
here.
Baby.
It's good.
It's a windy night. The moon is out. There's Tenma. Oh, he looks so good with the long hair. We love him.
We love Dr. Tenma.
Everyone
cheers when Dr. Tenma's on screen. When Dr. Tenma's not on screen, people should be asking, where is Dr. Tenma? When I say that, you know what that's from, right?
Oh, God. I've seen it before, but
that's
I don't.
Poochie in The Simpsons.
What?
Oh, do you not know? Okay, never mind.
I'm not a big Simpsons guy.
Oh, the Poochie episode's really good.
Well, you said Poochie, and I got fucked up because I heard Enrico Poochie, the villain of Part 6 of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and then you said The Simpsons, and I'm like, what kind of crossover bullshit is happening now?
Here, Quinn, I need you to Google an image of Poochie from The Simpsons. I know what Poochie looks like. Yeah, it's important that you see Poochie.
Okay. Poochie Simpsons. I have said Simpsonas, but I think it'll be okay. The birth of Poochie. Okay, let's take it. Oh, this guy!
It's a dog with a backwards baseball cap and sunglasses.
Man, like...
the most designed by committee 90s character of all time.
That's so fun.
I love Poochie. Anyway, brief detour.
We all love Poochie. We stand Poochie in this house.
We stand Poochie.
Urasawa Boys for Poochie against murder. These truths we hold to be self-evident. Murder is bad. Poochie is rad.
That's a good shirt. I want that shirt.
There you go. There's our first piece of fucking merch.
I'll figure this out. I'll get this.
I believe it. I didn't even have rad until halfway through the sentence. And the pop off I had in my head when I realized what I had on my hands.
You landed that plane on the Hudson. It was great.
Okay. Do you want to talk about Monster for a minute?
Yeah, maybe just for a little bit. We can get a little bit of Monster chat in here.
Yeah, all right. Blah.
The empty funeral is very, very, very sad.
My God.
So sparsely attended because like he alienated all of his coworkers through being a drunk. It's like it's so sad. And
it fucking hurts because like we as the readers, we really like Richard.
We know that he's turned his life around.
Yeah, it's empty. His ex and his kid are sobbing in the front fucking row. It's heartbreaking, man. And Reichwein's line, "What good was I to him?" Fuck, man.
It's a lot. I love the montage of him on the treadmill. Like, I think that's good, kind of. And part of it is just because, like, I like to run. Running is, like, my favorite thing. When I'm in a bad mood, I go for a run, right? So I relate to this. It's funny seeing a little old doctor man in, like, sweats jogging.
I love Reichwein. I love hanging out with Reichwein. He's great. He's a great character. Yeah, no, the montage is fun, because, like what happens is he's, like, at the gym. And as he's at the gym, we cut away to him doing his investigating. And then we go back to the gym, and then it's more investigating. And I just think that's an awesome... Again, it's a really good genre element. Especially for the TV thriller, I would say. Yeah. You know about this more than me, Matt, so you can let me know if that's correct or not.
Well, it might be. I think it moves a little bit too fast for, like, a procedural would be the thing, because, like, we'd spend most of the episode, but I think this is more, like, this to me is more in a movie than I think a TV show would be a cut like this, or in a comic book like this, like how we have done.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so that's good. Oh, yeah, the bad bartender, Quinn's Bar Corner, not about drinks this time, but about your responsibilities as a purveyor of alcohol. you should probably know. Like it's one skill you pick up bartending, at the very least, is a general sense of faces. You get to be at least kind of good at recognizing a face that you've seen before. The fact that this motherfucker does not even recognize Johan when he sees the picture, and he's like, it was busy that night. No, it wasn't, asshole. The bar was empty. You fucking prick. Why are you being like this? Like, were you drunk? Or did Johan literally pay you off?
That was my thought. I was like, is this guy just shitty at his job, or is he now one of Johan's pawns?
Yeah, but it doesn't seem like the kind of thing that Johan would even do. It's too simple to just pay a guy to not tell someone something. So that just leaves that he's that bad at his job, but it's an unrealistic level of being bad at your job to not recognize, this guy bought an entire bottle of whiskey and fucking left. That's not a common thing. I doubt even in Germany in the 90s was that a common thing. So it was just annoying. It was like, what? It's a bad excuse. And maybe Urasawa didn't know that that's not something a bartender would say. It's not a mistake that we physically can make. So then it's Urasawa's fault. But it just pissed me off.
Quinn's Bar Corner.
Thanks.
I like the design of the two hoodlums that beat him up and that he has his fight with. I think they're greasy and horrible looking.
Yeah, in a very 90s way as well.
Oh yeah, those are punks that you would fight in Streets of Rage.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. And it's fucking great when Reichwein comes from behind with the headbutt. Bam!
Yeah.
Ooh, it's chunky.
You mess with me, I fought with the border control. Get at it.
Yeah, Reichwein's fucking... He's cool. It's awesome. And also just, like, I like spending time with an older character. We've talked before about how Urasawa does a good job with older characters and giving them the spotlight. It's a good example.
Yeah, I like how we are just constantly... I like how there are so many characters in this story, and all of them are unique enough, right? Where it's like, I like the variety of perspectives that we get to see. And how just kind of quickly we pass from perspective to perspective. We had all those Richard chapters, and now we're in these Reichwein chapters. It's good. I like it.
Yeah, that's a big draw of Urasawa for me. That's a big part of like what makes him one of my favorite authors is how much things get recontextualized and we switch perspectives. Yeah, and then the bottle of scotch at the grave. No need to hold back now.
Oh man, that made me sad. Good stuff. Good chapter. Do you have any more notes on 57? Chapter.
No, just, we got to Tenma, yeah!
Yeah, cheer for Tenma.
Like Kermit the Frog. our guest today, Dr. Kenzo Tenma! It's time to put on makeup. It's time to light the lights. It's time to hunt down Johan on the Muppet Show tonight.
Is Doctor in the Muppets adaptation, who is the actor and then who is Muppets in the rest of it? Is Kenzo Tenma the human actor? Or Tenma's
gotta be the person. He's gotta be the one human guy.
So then which Muppet is Johan? Who is the most beautiful Muppet?
Oh.
Is it Animal because he's like literally a monster?
No. Oh, that's funny. That is funny. But no, I think Johan is Scooter.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, right? I like that. That's good.
Yeah. I think that's fun. Oh, that's a fun piece of bonus content.
This is We're gonna fan
cast Monster
the
with the Muppets.
Monster. I mean, because Eva obviously Miss Piggy. Obviously.
It's fucking Z, baby. Woo! Okay, let's...
Gonzo is Lunga.
Okay, let's keep Move on.
I'll stop. Yeah. Okay, 58. Reichwein's Days, is that the name of this one?
It is.
Okay. Chapter 58. Reichwein continues to half-heartedly meet with the woman whose husband is cheating on her. She asks if Reichwein will have a session with her husband, and he agrees to do so late in the afternoon. Reichwein scolds his secretary for forgetting to lock the office at night, and then calls Rudy, who has placed a secret message in an ad in the paper to try to find Tenma. Reichwein remembers the story of Margot Langer and goes to try to find her, but is told by a sex worker that she has left recently with a big guy. The next day, the cheating husband shows up for his appointment, and it's Roberto. This is a trap. Roberto monologues about dreaming of killing people and meeting a beautiful young man with blonde hair who acted on his life as if waking him from a dream. Reichwein gets up to make tea and then sprints for the door while throwing the hot water at Roberto. Reichwein gets away and is almost shot by Roberto until Tenma appears with a gun, firing back.
Chapter 58.
Good stuff.
It's Roberto.
It's Roberto. In the last
back.
chapter, when the hoodlums were like, "Yeah, this big guy hired us," I was like, "It's Roberto. He's back."
It's Roberto, and I think that's fun because, like, the big guy, I also picked up that. I'm like, oh, is the big guy Roberto? But you don't expect Roberto to be the cheating husband.
That threw me for a loop.
God.
I was like, did he murder the real husband? Was the husband ever real? Was the wife also fake?
Well, we find out that their address was fake to begin with, so I think she was just hired.
She was fake
hired
too,
to do fake therapy. And I guess we already know Roberto throws some good dick, so maybe that's
Everyone
part
is
of it.
always saying that about Roberto.
Yeah.
The
Roberto,
sex worker mentions it.
It does, yeah. Say this for Roberto. Great taste in abandoned factories. Awesome in bed. You know, a real man's man. Roberto.
Friend.
My trusted friend, Roberto. Woo! God. Big lips, good for kissing.
Good for smooching.
Good, mwah, says Roberto. But yeah, this is kind of a fun chapter, although I think it has a little less direction than the previous ones.
Yeah, I only have like 2 notes, and they're not like substantial. I like the newspaper ad a lot, which is Rudy says, I'd like to meet and reminisce about our cheating days, right? Which is, the reference to the test that they both cheated on. And the thing that this is more just like, this is like a CinemaSins complaint almost, right? But to me, it's like, I guess when you're a man on the run, you probably just have to spend a lot of time reading newspaper want ads to see if there's secret messages for you.
Yeah, just in case. That is fun. They do specify if he sees it. But he does see it.
He sees it.
Wait, does he see it?
Yeah, in the next chapter, he confirms that he saw it. Because he says the same thing to Reichwein.
You're right.
That, it's an inside joke, right? That's
funny.
Mm-hmm.
That is funny. One fun thing that happens is Reichwein reminds his secretary or assistant, you forgot to lock the door again. And so that's like obviously like a little boop. Here's something that it's a surprise tool that'll help us later. Kind of thing. Chekhov's doorknob.
Yeah. Well, and I like it. I said scold in the summary, but like it is playful. It's like they have like a, just like, we love Reichwein because he loves everyone. Him and his assistant, his secretary, they have a fun, friendly relationship is what it seems like.
Yeah. One thing that's fun, it's not that big of a deal. It's a translation thing. I expect, but Reichwein's on the phone with Rudy, and he's like, "There's one thing I want to investigate. That whore who was calling herself Margot Langer. Why you gotta come after her like that, man? What's your deal?"
It was strong. It hit me too. I was like, "Oh, okay."
What you got about this? She's that whore. I won't lean on it too hard. It was just a strange moment. It's really out of character for Reichwein to use that kind of language, I feel. Mm-hmm. There is a minorly interesting visual thing here, which is that we actually have 3 layers of panels in that moment. So we have the panel we were just talking about. Beneath that is Reichwein's face, and beneath that is a flashback panel. So we get 3 layers, which is way more than we normally get in this manga.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's cool.
I really like the sex worker that he goes and talks to. I like her design.
Yeah.
I think she's fun. She's got cool hair. She's wearing like a fun dress. She has a little snarly smile the whole time that she's talking, like she's chewing gum or something.
Yeah, she's chewing gum. Yeah, she's going. We get the sound effects.
I like her. She's fun.
Yeah, I love it. I love where she goes on. A big guy. Betty's big down there too. You know.
Yep.
And they with the gum. She's fun. She is fun. And again, it's always good to highlight Urasawa's women just all look different. We have that panel of the sex worker, and right below her we have a panel of his assistant. Night and fucking day.
Different women.
Different, very, very different women. And she looks so sweet, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun, man. And then we do have a Jack in the Box. There weren't a lot of them. I tried to look for them, but there weren't a lot going on this
Not too many this time.
reading. But we do have one here. We once again have an entire page of someone talking to Roberto without us seeing Roberto. And then next page, it's our friend, our trusted friend. It's the exact same move.
Yeah.
It's the exact same move.
Because I got excited for it when it was happening. I was like, here it comes. Here it comes.
It's him. Yeah. I think it's really fun when like as the reader you get hype for a bad guy showing up, because like, you know, the first time it's a surprise. The second time, now we know it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're like a slightly more than observant reader, you will recognize this move like kind of in the middle of it. You'll be like, wait a second. Wait a fucking minute. You know, and there he is.
Yeah, no, it's good. The conversation that they have, unfortunately, I don't think is super interesting.
No, it could have been half the length.
Yeah, because it goes on for a while.
Yeah, no, the pacing of this whole sequence is very strange. Like, you get the sense that Urasawa is trying to build tension, but the tension is already built a couple pages in, and there's nowhere else for it to go.
Yeah.
You know, and then it's like, oh, he's going to make tea, and like I guess if you don't know what he's going to use the tea for, then that's interesting. Maybe that's a cool surprise.
I like that Reichwein has realized he's in danger. Like, I like that, you know, so then we've got tension instead of tragedy, right? Like, oh no, another good man dead. So.
And Reichwein, again, is action hero, and he does
he really is, which is not what you expect from, like, an older gentleman, but he's two in a row now.
He was at the gym. He's in shape.
Yeah.
Reichwein's ready for it. And then Tenma, big damn hero.
Here to
pretty
save
fucking
the day.
Cool. I also want to bookmark. I have a strong memory of another shootout on a staircase in Billy Bat, and so I want us to keep an eye out for, like, maybe Urasawa really likes staircase shootouts.
Okay.
I don't know if it's anything, but it could just be a funny thing. Just like,
let's keep a lookout.
He enjoys. Man, I'm really hungry in the Vice Verst on the next page. I really want Vice Verst.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get some food after we finish.
Oh, big time, yeah. Okay. Anything else, Matt?
Not for 58. That's it for me.
Cool. Chapter 59, Into the Light of Day. Reichwein and Tenma hole up at a bar where they can trust the bartender and have some food, have some spätzle. Spätzle. And they get to know each other a bit. Reichwein is like, we're going to prove your innocence. Tenma looks away. They go to campus, basically, to see Johann. And Tenma says, it's time. And Reichwein says, yes, it's time to prove your innocence. Which is hilarious.
Tenma looks away. Again, we get a lot of panels of Tenma looking away when people say things.
He is looking into the middle distance, bro. And we see some more of Reichwein and Tenma talking. And then later, Reichwein's like, hey, wait a minute. Tenma's gonna try to kill Johann! And then he talks on the phone with Rudy, and Rudy's like, hey, do you feel like do you feel like Tenma's gonna try to kill Johan? Ragvine's like, I do feel that way, actually. And then he rushes out of the house, and there's Dieter. And Dieter says, Tenma's gonna try to kill Johan. Can you please, and then he starts crying. He says, stop him. Don't let Tenma become a killer.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah. Matt, I don't know how you feel about this. It's just kind of this, sense I was getting. It's kind of a long shot. Do you get the sense that Tenma's gonna try to kill Johan?
It might be. Now that you're saying it out loud, I'm putting some of the pieces together. Yeah, the gun training, kind of the
kind of following him around Europe. I wasn't super solid on it either, but kind of now that I've said it.
Now that it's been spelled out for us, I mean,
yeah.
I almost feel stupid for missing it.
It's like it was right there the whole time. Yeah. Jesus.
The thing that I did think was interesting about this, is the whole time I have kind of been rooting for Tenma to kill Johan, and this is the first time that I've been like, oh, maybe we should be rooting for a non-violent solution to this, right? I just kind of took it as a given, we're going to have to kill Johan. It's going to be either Nina or Tenma. So
this is, I guess, this is one of those points where I'm influenced by having read the whole thing, right? So remember, in episode 3, maybe, I said something about how there's 2 plots. There's the plot where Tenma's trying to kill Johan, and the plot where everyone else is trying to stop him.
Yes.
And that is really maybe strongest in the next reading, in particular. And this chapter is the inciting incident for that. We have all these other people trying to stop Tenma, and Tenma's like, I'm gonna do it. Yeah. And everyone's like, no, Tenma, don't become a murderer. You're so sexy. Aha.
The other thing that I liked about that was, and you mentioned Rudy and Ragvine talk, and Rudy is like, Tenma has to stay in the house, right? And my first thought is oh yeah, because it's dangerous, Roberto's out there, stuff like that. And then they say, it's because Tenma's going to kill Johan. Tenma's not in danger, Tenma is the danger.
Absolutely. Yeah, like we said, Tenma does a lot of looking into the middle distance. Man, honestly, there's not a lot happening in this chapter.
There's one conversation that they have when they're in the bar where Ragvine asks Tenma, well, why didn't you reach out to Rudy? This, that, the other. And Tenma says, I didn't want to involve him. This is something I have to do on my own. He's trying to cut himself, he doesn't want Dieter involved with this. He is closing his connections off so he can do this horrible thing that he thinks he has to do. And Ragvine is like, you can't do that. You need to stay connected to these people that care about you.
Mm-hmm. That's true. That is true.
Themes of connection that I know we like to talk about.
That is the thematic connection. Yeah, that's a what a good point. I feel bad that I was about to skip over that. Yeah, because that is kind of what we see here is Tenma trying to pull away and trying to isolate, in order to kill, and other people trying to stay connected with him, stay close with him, to keep him from doing that bad thing, which I remind you is bad.
Murder's bad.
Murder's bad. Yeah, there was that. Oh, I like Otto, the bartender here.
I do too. The big gruff guy that they're friends with.
He's so fucking beefy. Which isn't a character model that we see a lot from Urasawa, but he draws him great. I love Otto.
Yeah, I like Otto.
Big dude. Big fucking guy, Otto. And I also, I like the moments where Urasawa places some emphasis on food, because he does it a lot, He's like, oh, hey, here's a cake, here's the spätzle, here's this local specialty, here's the vice first. Food is important, at least a little. It's an underpinning.
Mm-hmm. And it's another
people
scene
do a lot of stuff while eating out. Yeah, you're right.
Of Dieter being hungry and eating, and people being like,
"That's true. Man,
that Dieter sure can eat."
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Dieter character trait, hungry boy.
Oh, he's a growing boy. He needs food.
He's a growing boy, just like his adopted dad, burger and a milkshake. I don't know. I just wish more. It just feels to me like this chapter was a lot of Ragvine talking to Tenma about how they're gonna take Johan down, and Tenma going, "Yep, sure, yep, definitely. I'm so not gonna kill him."
Yeah.
We're definitely going to bring him to the light of day. It's going to be fun.
that is a good sequence where they're at the building because
that one's good.
So Reichwein mentions, hey, Schuwald has been going back into his businesses, like he didn't do that for a long time, and now like he's back in the office on a regular basis.
Oh yeah, and all the businesses are weirdly doing so much better than they were.
Yeah.
It's like, I wonder.
What could be going on there? And so then we get the shot of Tenma seeing Johan come out of the building, like kind of out of shadow in the building into the daylight. And he makes a remark like, I've never seen Johan in the light of day before.
Yeah. And that is a cool thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. Yes, it's time to clear your name. God, that's so funny to me every time.
Yeah. Any more notes for 59, or is it time for segments?
It's time for segments.
So for segment, Quinn, who is rocking this week? I propose that this week we've got criminal psychologists are rocking. In the combination of Reichwein and Rudy. I mean, like, Richard is also rocking, but Richard rocks off a building, so I think this week it's criminal psychologists are rocking.
I think probably... I think it has to be Richard.
Okay.
Because we already didn't we do criminal psychologists already? Wasn't
maybe.
Rudy?
I think Rudy was the original criminal psychologists are rocking. Yeah, Rudy was the first.
Yeah, and I don't. So think
then you're right. Then it does have to be.
Yeah. It's got to be Richard. Because I was kind of feeling bad that we skipped over Richard last time, and we don't have another chance. So yeah, I think we can call it Richard this time.
Disgraced cops who are now private eyes are rocking.
Yeah. Well, he was previously rocking when he was a cop, because you rock when you lose your wife. So he was... What is it when you get your wife back? What's the opposite of rocking?
Sorry for party rocking.
No, that's still rocking.
I don't know. I can't believe I didn't say this last time, but the whole thing with Richard shooting a kid, it's the Die Hard joke where not Modern Family, Full House. Yeah, I shot a kid. That's the backstory.
I don't know this one.
Reginald VelJohnson he's TV dad in those commercials now, but it's the actor who is the main character on Family Matters, right? The show that Urkel's from. That dad is in Die Hard as a cop, right? Who is like not on active duty anymore because he shot a kid. But him and Bruce Willis end up like they are on the radio with each other the whole movie. And he goes, "I shot a kid." It's the way he says it is really funny.
Okay. Jeez.
Believe me, that plays. People, listeners, write in. Let us know how that one
plays. It plays, huh? Does it?
It plays. It does.
Boy, I can't.
Everyone loves Die Hard. Die Hard's everyone's favorite action movie.
I sure hope our content tags are sufficient for child murder. Anyway.
I'll update it. Another one for the list.
Death of a fucking children. Just tack that shit on.
I've updated the episode notes so many times.
There's always another one. There's always more.
Not just the content warnings. Like, I have changed the format of the episode notes a couple times as I have realized that stuff. There's some that I've completely rewritten. I am not good about just letting it be.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate the dedication. Okay, favorite Tenma moment. We don't have a lot to choose from, but it's got to be the reintroduction.
It's got to be Tenma's return. Yeah.
Like, return of Tenma.
There he is. The boy.
Do you ever dance with the Tenma in the pale moonlight? There he is.
That's a good one.
Yeah, there's my boy. Okay, named character, side character. I mean, that's most of the moments in this reading, so the field is crowded. What you got?
Yeah. I get Richard having his panic attack on the busy street. The first time we see the image of...
Fuck, that's good.
Yeah, I like that one a lot. Where we first get the image of him shooting the kid. The ghost.
Mm-hmm. That is good. I think for me... Wow, I can't believe I forgot to talk about this page. So it's good for me to bring it up so I can talk about this page. But there's a page where Richard is waiting for his ex-wife, right? He's waiting for her. He's looking at the picture of his kid. He's like, will I get to see her? Will I get to see her? And it's just this whole page. There's no dialogue of him just fidgeting. And he looks so hopeful. And he's looking around. He's looking at his watch. He's looking this way. It's just his face. And as somebody who really hates waiting, I felt it. I felt it in my bones, waiting for something completely life-changing. And you hope so hard it's going to go the way you want, but you don't know for sure. And all you can do is just goddamn sit there. So that page really spoke to me.
Good. Yeah. No, I like that. Unnamed character moment?
Unnamed character moment, side character moment. It might be... One, it might be Otto. Two, it might be the moment where the guy was smoking in the office and the lady was like, "You can't smoke in the office."
That's a good one.
4 years ago, all our records caught on fire. And it's like, come on. It's really stretching. Like, I can handle a lot of coincidence. That one really does stretch it a bit.
I liked that one. Yeah, for me, it's the sex worker that we mentioned. I think she's fun. I like her. That whole conversation.
Yeah, she is really fun.
I went into detail then. Yeah, her checkerboard dress. It's cool.
It's cool. Yeah, she seems fun. She tries to proposition Reichwein. She's like, "Come on."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time. Cool.
Hey Quinn, where can the people find you?
Oh, gosh, I guess you can find me on Twitter at 200 Proof Games. Fuck. Yeah. That's a 200 Proof Games. You can also find me on TikTok. Let me open my TikTok. What
TikTok.
What TikTok can you fucking find me at? I need to post. I keep looking at it. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna post so hard. It's authenticity.trip.
Okay.
That's it. They might be Giants reference, by the way.
Ooh.
If that matters to anybody out there. Matt, how about you, big guy?
Yeah, I'm at I run the Twitter for Urasawa Boys, so that's at Urasawa Boys. And then I am at blarple.net as my website. I have some writing that I've been preparing that's going to go up there soon. And then I'm on Discord. If we're mutuals, hit me up through Quinn if you're mutuals with him.
Tell us if you want us to make a Discord. If we have enough of a listenership for a Discord, wow, would I think that's neat.
I worry Matt's about Discord because then I have to do I will have to moderate as one of the co-hosts of this thing.
Oh yeah, Urasawa Boys fans famously fucking rowdy.
I mean, famously rowdy, but just like any community, I get nervous about moderation. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
Well, if it's there, because like you can run the Twitter. I don't want to run the Twitter, but I can moderate the Discord because I'm always on Discord.
Speaking of support for the podcast, we have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/Urasawa Boys. We have,
believe it or not,
I think 2 tiers. I don't know.
They
don't really get you anything right now. But
no, well, don't say that, because what if they listen in the future and it does get them something?
Okay, well, never mind. I'll cut that. Hang on. Cut. All right. Patreon.com/Urasawa Boys. We have 3 tiers that you can support at. Anything that you can toss our way, we really. Wait,
did you just throw in an extra tier? Did you throw in a
You said 3. Weren't there 3?
I said 2. God, that's so funny. I don't know how many tiers.
There's 2 tiers.
I'll be honest with y'all. We don't know how many tiers we'll have when you're listening to this. There's 2 tiers right now, I'm pretty sure. And there's gonna be anime content.
Yeah, we have stuff that we've recorded about just kind of more general, like me talking about stuff that I've been watching and reading.
It's called Maintaining Balance.
We've got some stuff planned to talk about the anime in some capacity, and then probably some other stuff will go up there soon.
Honestly, I'm way more excited than I thought I was going to be, but I've turned it into like an adaptation sort of watch. Like I'm watching it and I'm reading the manga at the same time, and I'm like taking notes on the differences and stuff. So I'm honestly really excited to talk about the anime.
Yeah.
So please, if you're anime fans, that's where you're gonna find it. It's on the Patreon. Give us a little bit of money.
Yeah, just a little bit. Thank you so much to our Patreons that we already have.
Yes. Thank you to my dad.
Thank you to Quinn's dad. And
thank you to my dad.
Phil Fox.
Vilfox, yeah.
I don't know how to say it.
Thanks, Vilfox.
I think it's just the two right now.
Yeah, I really think it's just the two. The diehards. Yeah. Matt, do you have anything else to say to the listeners?
Next time we will be reading the back half of Perfect Edition Volume 4.
I forgot to introduce the chapters we read.
It's hard to remember. I always
was
forget.
forgetting something at the start of the episode. Oh, yeah. Whatever.
It's chapters 60 through 68 next time.
Gotcha. Cool.
So.
Yeah. Well, everybody, from the bottom of my heart, murder is bad, Poochie is rad. Thanks for listening, and honestly, thanks for being a friend.
Thanks for being a friend.